Okay, an open mic just came in through the My HISRadio app. Let's check what it has to say.
All right, HISRadio.
Uh-oh.
What do we
When
do?
something starts out like that, I'm worried.
I'm sitting down. I'm ready.
We must have said something wrong.
Must have.
Because what did he say first?
All right, HISRadio.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That's like a...
I'm about to sit down.
Yeah, I'm here. I am ready.
All right.
Hold on. Let me buckle up, Buttercup.
I want to take a sip of coffee first.
Hold on.
Because I feel like something's happening here.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
All right, HISRadio.
I'm afraid to play the rest of it after that.
Oh,
Something.
just jump in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're ready.
This is an open mic. You can record anything you want. It's on the open mic through the My HISRadio app. Google Play in the App Store. You can download it.
I'm nervous. I'm biting my lip.
Okay. Criticism is coming.
It's okay.
I feel it.
We can take it.
Because he starts
It's
out.
All right,
constructive.
HISRadio.
All right, HISRadio.
It's constructive.
Yeah, let's take it like that. Okay,
Yeah.
constructive criticism. Let's listen close.
All right, HISRadio. You freaked me out because daylight saving time ends in 2 weeks on November 5th.
Wait, didn't we
that's
say
not-
that?
Well, yeah.
That's too. Hold on. Hey, okay, maybe we said something wrong.
On November 5th.
Yeah.
Not next weekend. 2 weekends. I want all the daylight I can have
I'm with
for
ya.
as long as I can possibly have it.
Same.
Please don't take an extra weekend away from
Never.
me. That's all.
Okay.
Wait.
He did say. Wait. I want to make sure we said it right.
Okay.
On November 5th. Not next weekend.
Okay. Maybe this is a northern thing. I'm from Central Florida. That's comprised by people from the north.
Okay.
The way I grew up is there's a this Friday and a next Friday. So this Friday would be what's coming up this week.
Yes.
Next Friday would be what's coming up next week, which is 2 weeks from now.
But that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a regional thing on how that works. Honestly.
Well, but you're saying Central Florida, and I'm from here.
Yeah.
So
you would say
I would say not this weekend is time changing. Next weekend.
yeah.
Which is...
That's how I'd say it.
Yeah, so it was 2 weeks from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I stand by what I said.
Oh, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
It could be a regional thing. Could be a different part of the country.
Wait a minute.
Next Friday is the one that's coming up.
Right.
I get that. I understand that.
Carol texted
Okay.
and said, just wanted to let you know that time does not change until the first weekend in November.
Right.
It's hard to wrap your brain around the first weekend in November is next weekend. So this weekend, time's same. Next weekend.
Which is November. That's
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
No, 2 weeks from yesterday.
Okay, I'm sorry. 2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave an open mic?
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
HISRadio.
Okay, this is just out of curiosity. I wonder how you think in this. Now, if you were to say something's coming up on Friday, Friday that's coming up, is it this Friday or next Friday? In my mind, it's this Friday, and then next week, we're talking, 2 weeks from Friday or whatever. So next Friday is next Friday, not this Friday.
Right, not this
Not the
Friday.
one coming up. However, Ninja feels that's not right.
No, my brain's like, what? So, this next weekend is the one coming up because it's coming up next. So this weekend is also next weekend because it's coming next.
But you said this next.
Which is this next one?
The one that's next is
See-
this weekend.
If you want to say 2 weekends, then it's 2 weekends from now.
So-
but the next weekend is the one coming up.
But it's not 2 weekends from now.
It's next week.
It's next weekend.
So it's this coming Sunday?
Okay, so so how would you view Monday? A week. Like
From today.
So how would you view Monday?
Next Monday.
Okay. So why is it not next Friday?
Because next Friday is the one that's coming next, which is this coming.
Oh my. That was Jake. Jake
Yeah.
Jake is done with you. No.
So the next Friday it's not Friday now, it's Monday. So the next Friday is the one that's coming next, which is Friday this week.
That would be upcoming Friday.
Or
But also next Friday.
so today is Monday. So if you refer to the day we're in, you would say today. If you're talking about Monday, you would say Monday. right?
It's the next Monday, which is coming up, which is next week.
It'd be today or Monday.
Which Monday are you wanting to talk
Okay,
about?
hold on.
Oh, my
I've got to chime in here, okay? Scott Watson does the news. He knows the facts. So I want to defer to Scott and see how Scott would think.
I need way more coffee to get in on this conversation. So I'm hearing this and next. That's 2 separate weekends. So this weekend would be the upcoming, right? This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. That would be this weekend. And then the following would be next weekend.
So the
Yes.
one who opposes that is Ninja. Everybody else, so far that I'm talking to, is saying this is this weekend. Next weekend is the one that's following up next weekend.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just telling you what my brain does when you say the word next.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
So in Boston, here's the dropout rate that's dropped in Boston for high school. 5,000 students since 2006. That's pretty remarkable that they were be able to bring 5,000 students who've dropped out of high school to come back into high school and complete their education.
Yeah, they're not just saying, okay, you've missed so many days, so you're out. Like, they're actually going a step farther and trying to figure out, like, okay, what's going on? There's some truancy happening. Let's get you back in school. And they're extending that grace to them.
And if I understand this correctly, a lot of these teachers or those who work at the high schools literally personally contacted these students and asked them to come back and that they valued them completely. And so it goes to show you, at least to me, that if somebody believes in you enough and values you enough, you will complete something.
And the actions speak louder than words. We hear that, it's cliche, but at the same time, when you reach out physically, make a phone call, you write a handwritten note to say, hey, we miss you. And especially if you could add, hopefully some of those teachers were like, you always cut up in class. We miss that part of you. Or, you're so sweet, or your smile, or pick something that they know that they were seen. That's what makes all the difference.
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And they did say in this case in Boston that most of the high school students that dropped out came from a lot of poverty and hard economics in their home and in their neighborhood. And they still reached out and they're like, there's hope. We value you. We treasure you. This is the type of person you are, and we miss that. And it's amazing on what happened.
And maybe the kids even opened up and said, well, this is what I'm going through. And then some of the teachers, faculty, or whoever got involved and said, okay, let's give you an alternative. You don't need to quit to go to work or whatever may be happening. Let's work through this.
So, Boston, thank you for leading the charge there.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Princess Cruise Lines are doing away with something that maybe you've been holding out for. If you've been wanting to go on a cruise, you've been waiting until the last minute because they always do these great deals. They're getting rid of those deals. They are not going to do the last minute deals on Princess Cruise Lines anymore. And I think that's terrible because you try to wait it out because if they aren't selling all of the cabins on the ship, you feel like, okay, so at the very last minute, they're going to put them, $100, $200, $500 cheaper just to fill up the boat. But they're like, no.
Got to work in advance now, huh?
You got to work.
See,
in
it's been
advance.
forever and a day since I've been on a cruise. I've done a few of them, and it's like it's the same thing over and over again, just a different location you're going to.
But that's what
just
makes
me.
it all different. So I'm not the biggest fan of cruises. However, the last one that my husband and I took, one of the greatest vacations. It was so just chill. We went to these gorgeous places, and we're actually doing one next year.
Yeah,
So,
and you're going where?
So it just changed because we were going to the Middle East. We were going to go to Israel, and it was a trip of a lifetime. And so now we've just changed it yesterday, and we're going to Barcelona, Spain.
Wow. Now, see, that's a destination.
Yeah.
Usually the cruises that I've been on is like Key West, Cozumel,
But still, they're
or the
beautiful.
Bahamas,
But
and it's the same thing over and over and over again.
But the Caribbean, my goodness.
It's nice if you're into that. That's
Yeah.
okay. I prefer, seriously, I love the mountains.
So you need an Alaskan cruise.
I don't know about that. That's
Oh.
still water. I'd rather go hiking.
Well,
I'd
you're
like
not-
to be in a cabin or camping or something like that.
Well, but you can do some of those excursions in Alaska and do that kind of thing. I wouldn't recommend the swimming.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
Another price hike for Netflix.
Good
and
grief.
it's so that you can have it without ads now. And here's what they're saying. There's some people that are predicting if this happens, they'll lose half of the people who subscribe to Netflix.
We've had enough.
Well, there's so many services now, right? I mean, so there's Paramount Plus, and now there's Peacock, and then you've got this plus and that plus, and there's a minus here, and a times here, and a division here. There's all this stuff, plus this and plus that there's so many services to subscribe to. Do you really need to have the Netflix?
I know, because like all the shows that you like or the movies or whatever it is, they're never on the same streaming service.
No.
And so you have to go to Amazon Prime here.
Oh, I forgot that one.
Yeah, Netflix there and HGTV over there and Food Network. And I'm done.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Tonight's House Hunters on HGTV is a little more in the price range of a house that I think I would be interested in. A lot of times you'll watch House Hunters and they're like, okay, so what's your budget? And they're both unemployed or she's a teacher and, you know.
I know, it's funny. My wife and I have a joke about that. It's like, I'm a barista at a coffee shop and I bag groceries at the grocery store. What is your budget? $1.5 million.
And you sit back and you're like, what?
Wait, how?
Do what?
How does that happen?
No. So they have a budget tonight of somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000. They are originally from the upstate of South Carolina, and they have moved to the Midlands. Their jobs have taken them there. Their names are Justin and Raven.
So they're going to be on House Hunters tonight.
They're going to be on House Hunters
nice.
tonight. And so, you know, they have like a side hustle, plus they have their first jobs. And so, you know, they need space for their side hustle and things like this. And so it's going to be interesting to see and to watch it happen as they move from the
nice.
upstate of South Carolina to the Midlands.
Very nice. You know, Scott's a big fan of House Hunters.
Oh, cool.
I do. I like this. My wife and I watched it. We don't watch it as much as we used to, but when we first started our house hunting trek, 20-something years ago, looking for our first house, we started watching the show to get ideas of maybe what to look for or what not to look for and, get some tips as we were doing our own house hunting adventure.
Listen, I watch all those shows on HGTV. At first, I thought it was gardening tips, the whole channel. I'm like, oh, no, it's not. So it's House Hunters, and they have the International, and then there's Good Bones, and there's all these different shows, all the renovation stuff. And here's the reason why I watch it. Number one, I'm not good at it. So it's neat to see somebody work well in their craft and be inspired. Number two, it's so hard to find clean stuff on TV. And this stuff is pretty much clean.
Yeah, for the most part, I haven't found anything that's kind of out of the way, but I don't watch it a ton, but I used to. When we were, like Scott said, looking for a house, building a house, renovating a house, you find the questions that you should be asking and some new ideas. So it's pretty cool, but this couple is going to be on tonight, 10 o'clock.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Movies make you happy and healthy, according to some expert. And here's the reason why, because you get talking about the characters, you have something to talk about, you emotionally get involved. That's why they say movies make you happy and healthier. I think it would depend on the movie.
Oh, I think so, too, because there's certainly movies that I've seen that I walk away and I'm like totally just depressed or whatever. But the movies that I watched this past weekend totally made me happy and healthy, and they're Christmas movies. I watched four Christmas movies.
That's
over the
right.
weekend.
Like Lifetime came out with their movies already, right?
Well, Great American Family.
Oh,
Hallmark.
good.
Yeah, so you had lots of different choices, but honestly, what I did was I just went in the search bar and put in Christmas. And then it brought up a bunch of different, so they were everywhere. They were all over the place.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so
everybody trying to capitalize on that this early in the season.
But the thing is, I wanted something I didn't have to think about, like it wasn't too much of an investment, and it was an escape. I didn't feel well over the weekend, and so I just laid there and was like, oh, look at the Christmas trees. I love it.
You were all snotty?
I was.
Oh, no.
And so, just like a little burrito on the couch, and I was all totally in.
Burrito?
Yeah, I was
Why
like
are you
wrapped
eating
up.
burritos when you're sick?
I wasn't eating burritos. I was wrapped up like a burrito. Like
You had a tortilla?
No,
What?
I was tucked in with my blanket. So think of me as the innards of the burrito, and then my blankets were the tortilla shell.
Okay, so you are beans and cheese.
Well, ask the people in my family.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
When my kids were little, when my boys especially were little, they did not teach cursive writing in school. And so I thought it was so important because I'm like, well, your signature shouldn't be printed. Like, you need to know how to write your signature in cursive. And so we worked on that with them. Now it's being introduced back into some schools. California just passed a bill that's going to make it where elementary school kids have to
When did
learn.
they stop doing this?
You know, I don't know, and I think it probably depended on the state and the school district, and I'm not sure it was like across the board or anything like that. And some teachers may have taught it, but yeah.
I kind of get it because most of life is spent on your phone and typing on either the phone or the computer, and there's not a lot of writing that happens anymore.
Yeah, there's really not. But this person, this councilwoman or whomever it was that passed the bill, she said, here's the thing, if you're going to research like old deeds for property, you know, in history, if you can't read, it's more about the reading of cursive writing, you're not going to know a lot.
Oh, okay. She's got a point.
She absolutely has a point. So they're going to start teaching cursive writing in elementary schools, at least in California. I'm all about
The only
it.
time I use it is for my signature, and it's horrible.
Is it really?
You'd think I'm a doctor. I mean, seriously.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So here's a guy who catches lobsters in Maine, does this for a living. And usually the colors are like brown and muted orange and that kind of
Some
thing.
red, yeah.
Some red, you know, looks like fall with a lobster.
A little bit.
And if you catch lobster close to England, there could be a little blue tinge to it or a little blue in all those different colors.
Yeah.
Well, there's one guy in Maine who catches lobsters for a living that caught a blue neon lobster. It's very, very, very rare.
Right? I would use this as an accessory to some outfits because he's
The
gorgeous.
thing's alive.
Well,
You don't use it as an accessory.
he could be my pet on my shoulder because he's super cute. But he's like that, like a royal blue, and it's really, really vibrant.
Stands out.
Yeah.
Immediately stands out. So it's going to be at the market for a while. They're not going to sell it. It's kind of a novelty now. And then soon it'll go to the Gulf of Maine Research Institute. So then they're going to research the lobster.
And see how he got, first of all, blue, so blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that guy, 1 in 2 million chance of pulling up this blue lobster.
Could you imagine being the person that actually catches that?
Like, I'd be like, what in the world? Did somebody color? Where'd my kid go?
Well, I don't think he thought it was a lobster at first.
Oh, maybe not. But what else would be in the ocean?
Because it's all these different lobsters that are in the same catch. And then all of a
Right.
sudden it's like, oh, wow, look at this. Oh, that's a lobster, and it's neon blue.
I can imagine how they were celebrating because that's really cool.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
There's a training center now in North Carolina, in Cary, that's going to be the training center aquatically for the Olympics for 2024.
That's very awesome.
I know. That is so cool. So there's going to be a lot of training right there in Cary for the Summer Olympics for next year.
Wow. See, I haven't followed, honestly, I'm sorry, the swimming since Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte were in the Olympics, but these are those types of stars and athletes that are going to be in Cary.
It is so neat. Now, I'm from Florida, and so a big training center for triathletes is in Florida, just north of Orlando. And so you'll see a lot of Olympic athletes that are training in the waters there and riding around. What's different about Claremont, Florida, which is where this center is that it's very hilly. And for Florida, it's like, this is not Florida, really, because I've been there and I've cycled there. And I'm like, no way that this is Florida because of how hilly and how steep and how the grades are when you're running and you're cycling on that. Plus, they got this big water. So it's neat to see that there are places that people can go to do this training. And it's going to be right in Cary for the swimmers.
And also to see that type of athlete, because that is, some of these are just like anomalies. Like, how is your body made to where you can swim like that or you can cycle like that or whatever the case is?
So in case you happen to train at the Triangle Aquatic Center in Cary, that's where you're going to run into some of the Olympic athletes because they'll be training there.
Yeah, don't ask them to race you.